Please pay us enough not to do this. You know, if you're not gonna pay us enough to live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. There goes your inventory.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, it's your brother Ra'aya, back with another one from GMS Detroit. And yeah, y'all, I got this video for you. And this Jake, he's speaking some truth to the matters that's going on right now. And you know, for all the hopeful elect out there, we're not going to be, you know, caught off guard by any of the psyoping that these Edomites and these elite banking families are trying to come against the, you know, the public. We're not going to be, you know, finessed and put a veil over our eyes on what's happening, right? I know you all witnessed these random, so to speak, fires that's been happening at Amazon, and they're not random. We know that the elite banking families are purposely burning these facilities down, just as well as we're going to see other things being burned down as well pretty soon. And it's just a sign, honestly, that Jacob's trouble is about to come into its climax. Like we're about to enter in fully into Jacob's trouble. We're in Jacob's trouble right now, but the fullness of it will soon be here, right? And as he's going to say in this video, it's going to be happening pretty soon. We're going to be in this time. So let me play this video for y'all.
This is what make us sad as a people. Ain't nowhere in hell y'all finna sit here and actually believe that they out here burning down Amazons and not think that this is a psyop. Not think that this is like the start of destroying.
And now let's look up the word psyop, right? Psyop. Psyop. A psyop, or psychological operation, is a planned effort to influence the perceptions, emotions, and behavior of a target audience, typically using non-combative means, right? And this is exactly what's happening right now. People are watching these things happening, and in the back of their mind, you know, they probably like, you know, oh, that's kind of weird. Why are all these Amazon? But they're not really putting the pieces together. Like, why would they do this? It's because they're about to cause famine and a lot of death to happen, so that they can influence you to enter into this beast system and to get this MOTB, the mark of the beast, right? The Marco C hip, the microchip, the RFID chip, right? Let me get this. I was just thinking about Salakia, y'all. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Oh yeah, first. That's all. It's 5, right? This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. And let me see how much time we got, y'all. It says, matter of fact, this isn't the King James. So this is First Thessalonians 5 and 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night, right? For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child. So these people, as we seen DJT, he was just saying that they made peace agreements with Iran and stuff, and then not even a day later, it had to be like a couple of hours into the next day. Like it wasn't a full 24 hours, a couple hours into the next day, they already said that they went against the peace treaty. Israel started to bomb Lebanon again, which went against the peace treaty that they just made. So because of that, Iran cut off the Strait of Hormuz and stopped, sending oil out, right? Or the shipments out. Now, DJT went along and said, you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to put ships and we're going to blockade. We're going to use an armada of ships and blockade the straits so that nobody can get oil, nobody can get these things, right? All this is the chess moves and the plans of the elite banking family, because while doing this, it will cause a world economic collapse, right? These economies to these countries that fully depend on this oil will collapse. Not only that, it'll cause domino effects in the economies of the countries that don't need the oil directly from this passage, the Strait of Hormuz, right? Because they get different things from these countries that do need the oil, or do need the oil for their gas and all that, for shipments and all that. So everybody's gonna experience a decline, all right? And on top of that, they're burning warehouses here in Babylon the Great. What do you think is going to happen? Like, what is Jake thinking in their mind when they seeing this? They're not really thinking. They have a veil over their eyes, right? They're asleep, right? So this is why I'm bringing this out. This is First Thessalonians 5, and we're gonna go verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, because we can see what's happening, that day should overtake you as a thief, right? Ye are all the children of light, meaning we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, right? Everybody else, ignorance is bliss, right? What they don't know, not gonna hurt them. But what they don't know is that what they don't know is going to hurt them. But let us watch and be sober, because that's what we're doing. We're essentially watching what's happening. And this sober doesn't necessarily mean a sober of without like hard alcohol or wine or something like that. It's meaning being in a sober frame of thinking. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they be clear minded. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, right? And for an helmet, the hope of salvation, right? Because in this time, we're going to need that hope of salvation, because in order to be saved, you gotta have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in order to be saved in this time anyway. For Yahweh have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Now, these other people are appointed to wrath. The people who's not understanding what's happening, they're appointed to it, right? They're straight appointed to this wrath that's coming to them. Who died for us? And look, I'm gonna play the rest of this video so that you can fully understand what this Jake is saying and how it correlates to this. I'm just kind of giving you a pre workout, so to speak, for this thing. But anyway, it says, "Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do." Right. So let me go back to the video.
The outlets that we use every single day, because it's time, nigga. It's getting time. Survival mode, nigga. Y'all been yelling. It's like the start of destroying the outlets that we use every single day, because it's time.
Yep, they're going to destroy these outlets and all of that. Like, just notice your major, and pretty soon your major Walmarts, your major so-called convenience stores, and all of these things somehow are going to be caught up in fires or caught up in devastation from natural disasters and all of this stuff, right? And just so happened, look, when all hell start breaking loose, right? It ain't gonna be nowhere for you to get any supplies or food or any of that. They're gonna put you in a dire straight position where they're gonna force you, and that's why most people are gonna get that MOTB, is because they're being psyoped. Like, they don't even realize that it's happening right now while there's so-called peace. Right? So they're not gonna know what's happening, and they're in the darkness right now. They're not gonna know what's happening when destruction is hitting. Right, that's why it says a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai gonna be as fine as the gold of Ophir. You're gonna be like, he gonna be a refuge from the storm, from the tempest. Right, he gonna be a hiding place. Because he's gonna have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of what's happening, and he's gonna have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's gonna have a hedge of protection around him. And that's what, that's why these women out here, they're going to flock to that man, right? Because they're going to see it. People are going to notice it. Like, hold on, why is he more clear-minded? Why is he like, you know what I mean? Everybody else is in a panic, going crazy and all that. And he just, you know what I mean? They're going to notice like something. Look, hey, and in this time we coming in, it's going to be a lot of miracles happening. We're coming in a time where miracles is coming back on the earth, where people not going to believe what they're seeing. The Heavenly Father going to lift up a standard for his hopeful elect, for his elect members, right? When Esau try to come in like a flood, right? Which he will. He's going to come in. And that's this time that he's speaking about. Like, he's saying, y'all been talking about this time. Like, we need to prepare and all that. We're coming in. We right at the door.
And I think that this is like the start of destroying the outlets that we use every single day, because it's time, nigga. It's getting time. Survival mode, nigga. Y'all been yelling about this shit. Now you really finna be in that. Ain't none of these everyday things you finna be able to use and shit no more. But back to the burning down of the Amazons. This is how like weak in the mind y'all is, and a lot of y'all not finna survive out here, bro. Over 75% of America.
Hey, it's gonna be so many dead bodies, y'all. It's gonna be so many deletions happening, right? It's gonna be so many deletions happening, y'all. But look, this Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 23, right? And the dead shall be cast out as dung, right? Now, if you all don't know what dung is, dung definition. The